Hello everybody, my name is Cirque and welcome back to another episode on the Castaways server. So at the end of the last episode, I was playing around with these bone blocks, putting them in the houses, and I figured I would do some work on the village, because I had some free time between episodes. And so we need more brick. That's kind of why I stopped working on all of the bottoms of the houses. So I went and got a bunch of clay, and we should have quite a bit somewhere. There's a couple. There's a whole bunch. So I need to smelt them, and there's something that I've been meaning to do for a while. I've been meaning to make a furnace array, and now it kind of seemed like the right time. You know, I keep pushing it off, and eventually I'll make it, and I won't have anything left to smelt because all of my other projects will be done. And you know, like the bricks is one of the main things right now that I need it for. Unless I make something out of like stone or stone bricks. So yeah, I started working on the furnace array. I had to go around and scrounge up all of the iron that I had. I went to all of my different areas. I had to go down to the mine, the skeleton ship, the slime farm, the place over there, the guardian farm, the squid farm. I don't think I went over to the mob farm. That's the one place I didn't check. But we had enough iron to make all the hoppers. If you guys haven't seen this before, this is a furnace array. It uses furnaces and hoppers and rail carts to just make like a super efficient, or at least a super quick way to smelt large quantities. So I'm going to have 64 furnaces here. That's usually what I do. So you can basically smelt a stack of materials in however long it takes to smelt one item, which is pretty nice. Then you use the rail carts to distribute all the fuel and all the whatever you're smelting to each of the furnaces. So for that, I needed 64 furnaces and 3 stacks of hoppers, because each furnace gets 3 hoppers. One for the whatever you're smelting, one for the fuel, and one for the output. So that's what we got going on here. And I'm trying to figure out something new for this design. I don't like just doing the same thing over and over again. So in the past, what I've done is I've used redstone to turn off these hoppers and these hoppers so that they stop picking up items, so that you can adjust how many furnaces this thing actually uses. So I was able to, in the past I've done, had it like split off after the first 8, and then split off after the first 16, which I think is what we have here, and then after the first 32. And basically it would turn off all of the furnaces after that, so you could have just the first 8 running, and then redstone would be stopping these hoppers from picking up anything. Or you could have the first 16, and then you'd have redstone stopping the rest of them. The main problem with that, though, is that the minecart would still go all the way down and all the way back. And so there was a little bit of a problem with that. Like the minecart is spending a lot of time just traveling over on hoppers that aren't being used. So it can waste fuel, just because the fuel's not getting to the the furnaces, or the materials that you're smelting isn't getting to the furnace fast enough to use the fuel efficiently. So like an item will stop smelting before another item gets to the hopper to, you know, keep smelting, keep that furnace going. So what I kind of wanted to do with this one instead is we would split it off between 16 furnaces. So we got these first 16 separated, and then the full 64 furnaces. And I want to actually like stop the minecart from traveling that far and have it, you know, stop and turn around. And so this is basically, I mean, this is sort of what we need it to be like. Let's see, if we take this out and put a torch there, or not a torch, a lever. So if we power this, there, if we go like that, then we're just using the first 16. The minecart will turn around and go back that way. If we go like this, then the minecart would continue on and go on to the rest of these, and then come back, and they'll come back over here. The only problem I'm having with this is I'm not sure how to power this one, this block, so that we can do that. Because obviously we're supposed to have a track there, so that we can't just power it this way. I was hoping I could power it from above, but apparently that doesn't work with the... Oh, maybe it does. Okay, well that makes it easier. I was trying this before and it didn't work. Okay. Well, then we can do that. So yeah, that should be easy then. Although I did just realize that I was going with both of these starting over here and going around and bouncing back. But actually, this top track starts over here. So I'm going to have to power this one, which isn't a big deal. And then that one will stay that way. Although I guess we'll have to power it. Ooh. This might be more complicated. Because when it comes back, we're going to have to power this one. And that one's going to have to stay unpowered. I think what I might need to do is use detector rails to judge which way the thing is going. Which means we're probably going to have a bigger gap in here. I'm just wondering if this is worth it. That's the big question. Is it worth it? Because we're going to have kind of a big gap here and kind of a mess. So I'm going to play around with it, see if I can find a simple solution. If I can't, we might just have a normal furnace array with all 64 furnaces running. Honestly, I don't think I've ever used less than 64. Like I had the option to, use less, or I had the controls to use less. But I basically did that as like a cool redstone thing, and I never really used it. I always just ran all 64. But anyways, I'm going to keep working on this and see if I can figure out something. So I worked on this a little bit, and I think I got it figured out. We got 16 furnaces over on that side, and then we have a little track switching thing going on here. I'm not going to go over it too closely. It's sort of weird, but it works. And then another 48 over there, so you can have either 16 or all 64 furnaces going at once. And the way you change it, well, let's just send these cars down. So if we send these guys off, then they will go all the way down. Right now is what it's set to. So when they come back, like this one, well, it's just going to go across because it doesn't matter. That's the way that track is going. But then when it comes this way, it hits the detector rail, which switches it. Same with, let's see. Yeah, on that side, it hits the detector rail, which switches it over here. And it's basically the same thing on the bottom, just mirrored with how it goes. And then if we want to only use 16, we can do that. And that will... whoop, I just bumped that guy back. That's all right. Let's see, on this side, and then down there, I locked the repeater so that those detector rails no longer work. And on here and over here, down at the bottom there, I power that redstone torch so that redstone torch doesn't get activated. So that's how I disabled that, and now both cars turn around when they get to this spot. So it works pretty nicely. Let's turn it to 64. So I'll just have to, bring that redstone line all the way back to the beginning here, which isn't a big deal. Where did those guys go? Let's stop them here. Eventually I'll have buttons here. In fact, maybe I'll do... Well, I don't need a button right now. But the main reason why I built this whole thing was because I got a bunch of clay that I need to smelt. So this one is where the clay will go. And then we'll put all the coal in this one, fill it up. And then we can smelt that and maybe work on some villages, or some houses in our village. So this should be ready. We'll just... whoop. Send that off and send that off. And then the way that these work with this detector rail and the comparator, when they come back, if they have items in them, it will send a signal to that block and power that powered rail, which will send them back. So they'll keep going until they're empty. Pretty nice little design. Should work. Yep. So yeah, it keeps going until it gets emptied out. Everything will get filled up. All the furnaces are running, it looks like, which is great. Nothing clogging the system. I went through and cleared everything out. Things tend to fall into the hoppers while we're building around here. And we should be... Oh, wow. Yeah, see, look at that. I already have almost 2 stacks of bricks. That is filling up quite nicely. And the one thing, I don't think I've done this before. Maybe I did in the last one of these I built. But usually I only have 1 chain of hoppers, like both of these meet up to 1 hopper and then go into a chest. But here I actually have 2 chains going from both sides, so we can receive the items faster. They still smelt at the same speed, but usually what happens is these get clogged up in here. But we don't get any of that, so that's really nice. Every step I do on these houses just it just makes this area feel so much nicer. It feels like this place is more alive, it's more populated. So I went through and added in all the bricks on the bottom, so every single house that we had framed up now has bricks on the bottom and all the stone. And I also went in and put all the wood in, the logs. Well, I still need to do some dark oak stairs underneath that. Oh, I just realized, I've been looking at this for a while, but I just realized that I have, where do you even turn that off? I don't remember. I thought it was up top here, that crosshair thing. I don't remember where that is. Oh, there it is. I want that off. I hate looking at that. I can tell by the weapon or the tool when it's ready to swing again. Anyways, so yeah, we did that on all of the buildings. So everything, it's ready for the clay. I need to go through and choose what color of clay to use on each house. I'm probably gonna switch up the ones that we already have as well, since we decided to change it up. We're only using 1 color instead of 2 colors per house, and mixing in that bone. And then once I do that, all the kind of broad steps are done. I've been doing sort of like several passes through this place. First I went through and marked out on the ground where there would be, kind of like this, and then I went through and put the walls in, or like put the corners in, at least the very basic frame, and then I did the roofs on everything, and then now I've gone through and got all the stone in and the wood. So once I get the clay in, all the broad steps are done, and then I really need to just go from house to house and really focus on where I want windows to pop out, where I want details. It might even be a good idea to try and do the insides as well, so we don't end up with a bunch of houses like this. I should maybe start with this one and do the inside, figure out. It doesn't necessarily need to be decorated, but I should figure out where floors are going to be and stairs, and maybe even some rooms as well, and the ceiling. Try and get all that done. So yeah. Another thing I really want to do soon is, like, the biggest thing about this is right now we just have a bunch of buildings out in the open, and it's still looking really rough around here. One thing that would make it look amazing is, first off, if we just took out all of these and put in the actual path here, start working on the streets, getting the path going through here. There's not a whole lot more we can do at the moment, but we could do some detailing around these buildings, maybe putting some stone. I think originally I thought of, like, for the streets, I want to use this. I want to do the granite and polished granite, maybe a little bit of bricks, not too much since we are using the bricks on the houses. But then maybe instead of having that go right up to the houses, put some like andesite around the houses, putting some sort of stone maybe around the houses. I'm not sure if I'll go with that or not. Now I'm sort of thinking now we have enough space, we could have a road and have some grass in between. And I believe the insides are probably going to be andesite and some cobblestone. That's what I've been doing for the floors in these buildings. So I don't know how well it would look with some more stone on the outside. But yeah, still a lot of work to do, but we're getting closer, and I'm liking it. But this is going to be probably the last episode for a little bit. I shouldn't say the last episode, but there will be a break. I am moving into a new house in next week, middle of next week. I'm closing on the house. Finally, it will be mine. And then I have to do some painting and moving all my stuff over there. I have a lot of furniture that I need to build, assemble, put together, and unpacking everything and putting stuff where it needs to be, getting my computer moved over and all that set up. So this will be, I'm assuming this will be the last episode. I could probably get another one done in the next few days, but I know with how things have been going, like this episode, I wanted to get done, you know, after a few days, and here it's been a week or so. So I know that we probably won't get another episode. I could promise one, but it's probably not going to happen. There will be some more streams, though. I'll have some time for that, so make sure to follow me on Twitch, follow me on Twitter if you want to check out some streams. Maybe we'll do some work on here. Right now I'm mostly playing Terraria on Twitch, having a lot of fun on there. We just entered hard mode on our normal mode playthrough. So things have just gotten very difficult. Hopefully I can fix that soon, though. We can get a little bit more equipped. But anyways, I hope you guys have enjoyed another episode on the Castaways server. We will be back here in, 2, maybe 3 weeks. I know it'll probably be 2 weeks before I really get everything set up. And, set up and ready in the new house. And then however long it takes to, do an episode after that. But yes, I hope you have enjoyed. We'll see you next time. Goodbye, peoples.